Asiphendula into yaseJohn yakaJohn waseNineve ayilandele kude, and that takes isikhathi che. So siyacela ukuthi angasibonisa ukukhuthala kwakhe. And
The minister does not have a recording. He told us he's got a recording and he wants us to play. That's number one. Number two, he wanted us to listen to something he never listened to himself.
che. Whatever he says here is under oath. La che ama-South Africans alalela ekusila amanunu abona ubaba ubheka icele ama-South Africans. So let's not downplay it che.
Mhlambe bekaSmith axolise ngokomthetho ngoba is under oath, as I said earlier, ukuthi akhumbule ukuthi u-under oath. Mara singaphumi la singanagama elazekelayo ukuthi uyasararanisa nje asazi ukuthi isikuphi akafuna ukuvuma. Mara ke ukuxolisa ngicabanga ukuthi kungaba into ekarako, ingasikari into leyo ukuthi use man uthi Matsela Bambalala ngiyabawa ukuthi man ngenza iphoso kukuleya indaba yokuthi into le ikhona yokuthi ngithuselwe ngoba indaba yokuthuselwa silalele sonke la ayikho.
Yeah, ayikho note or asitshela ukuthi kanqamba manga sidlule, simple as that.
Today on Heads Up SA, we are breaking down the major mistakes and inconsistencies made by Minister Senzo Mchunu when he appeared before Parliament's ad hoc committee on the disbandment of the political killings team. According to Mchunu, he disbanded the PKTT because A. He had the constitutional right to do so. B. There were budget concerns. C. He received complaints from public members, especially Mary Dihas and Patricia Mashale. But when you look closely at his testimony, things start falling apart. Let's start with the biggest red flag, the consultation with President Cyril Ramaphosa. Minister Senzo Mchunu says he consulted the president about disbanding the PKTT, but according to his own words, the consultation happened after he had already written and served the disbandment letter.
Did you consult or you didn't consult the president?
I did. I did consult after writing.
After means after
the letter
the
of the
31st.
31st, yes.
After the 31st of December.
Now tell me, how do you consult after taking a major decision? That's not consultation, that's informing. Even MK Party's Honorable Nomvalo called it out directly, saying Mchunu was informing the president, not consulting.
Okay, so you were not consulting, you were informing him because the decision had already been taken.
And when President Cyril Ramaphosa was cornered by journalists in Soshanguve, he dodged the question completely, saying he'll comment only after the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee conclude their work.
I appointed the Madlanga Commission to investigate and go into the allegations that have been made against Minister Mchunu. So a lot has been said and a lot will continue to be said. As the person who appointed the commission, I will await the moment when the proceedings end and when a report is tabled to me before I comment.
The president clearly fears contradicting Mchunu or exposing what really happened behind the scenes. Then came what I call the bus-throwing session. Minister Mchunu made it clear he is distancing himself from names like Brown Mokgotsi and Vusiket Matlala.
Two messages they were sent to me coming from Mokgotsi, if I have some recollection of them. Now, I wouldn't have responded to both, and I think I never responded to both, simply because I didn't quite understand what he was referring to in the first one, talking about judgment and all of those. And it wasn't, or it wouldn't have been for the first time that Mokgotsi would send to you something that you wouldn't understand. Unless you sat down and so he sent that and I looked at that and I didn't have quite a good understanding of what he was talking about.
He also threw General Chatri under the bus. When he was questioned why PKTT dockets were moved to Gauteng, Mchunu agreed that Sibiya took a chance. He said his letter was directed to the National Commissioner, not to Sibiya, and that he didn't even know the dockets were sitting at Sibiya's office.
Directive that I had given, because it was never to Sibiya. it was to the National Commission. Because in the first place, I'm not sure of any docket in Spear's office. But essentially, because there was no word on dockets in my directive. There was nothing. So I wouldn't agree with you on something that I didn't write about having had a consequence. Or the way dockets would have been handled is a different matter. The way they were handled or could have been handled is a totally different process from the letter of directives. So in that particular context, this matter of an impression that got created of a special relationship of sorts between me and Spear, I don't know where it came from.
Now that raises a serious question. Did Sibiya act on his own for a personal or associate benefit, using the minister's letter as a cover? To make matters worse, Mchunu revealed that both the head of crime intelligence and the national commissioner told him they are investigating Sibiya and that he supports that investigation. He even said that he doesn't understand where the talk that he is close to Sibiya comes from.
In another meeting where National Commissioner was with the head of crime intelligence, one of the reports they gave me was that they were investigating Deputy National Commissioner of Detectives, that is General Sibiya, and that they were at an advanced stage. And I said to National Commissioner and Head of Crime Intelligence, if General Sibiya has done anything unlawful, go on with the investigation, you have my support. You have my support. And I repeat, you have my support. That's what I said. Because they were just taking me into confidence.
But General Mkhwanazi painted a different picture. He said he suspects that the decision to disband the PKTT came from the Gauteng Organized Crime Syndicate, who felt threatened because they thought the PKTT was investigating them. And at the Madlanga Commission, General Khumalo presented proof, detailed communications between Matlala and Mogotsi showing their involvement in pushing for the PKTT's disbandment. Those chats intensified on 31 December 2024, the exact same day Mchunu wrote the disbandment letter. Coincidence? I doubt it. This makes it hard to believe that the minister had no link to Mogotsi, especially since disbanding the PKTT was something Mogotsi himself promised Matlala he would handle. Then there was the so-called proof, a document Mchunu brought to show the political killings were low when he took the decision. But guess what? The document had errors, and Mchunu admitted it. Members of parliament were furious, arguing that if one error was found, there might be many more, making the document unreliable.
Okay, Honorable Skosan. Thank you, Chair. I don't think it's appropriate, Chair, for the minister to downplay what we were given and were told this document is part and parcel of the minister's submission to us. And I mean, it means we must discard this information which were given to us, because it means he did not peruse the document, whether it's his lawyers, but he must take responsibility of this document. He can't downplay this. I mean, we were given this document this morning. We were told by the lady to say this document comes from the minister. It can't be downplayed, Chair. I don't think we are really. We have to take this thing as easy as that. That, you know what, the minister is distancing himself from the document. It can't be, Chair. Please protect us, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Shongwe.
No, Chair, I was in line with Honorable Skosana, but Chair, please protect us. So, Minister has a tendency of ukusibonisa indlela akhuthele ngayo. Ubuzwa lo mbuzo asiphendula into yaseJohn yakaJohn waseNiniva ayilandele kude. And that takes isikhathi, Chair. So siyacela ukuthi angasibonisa ukukhuthala kwakhe. And number 2, Chair, if leli phepha ezenalo yena akalithembi akasitshele manje silijikise ngoba if already seline error A1, how many more are there? So we must deal with this document immediately. Ukuthi do we accept it or not? If utili right ilinje asiqhubeka nalo.
Remember how Mchunu promised that there's a recording proving that General Mkhwanazi threatened him? Well, that recording can't be found. The minister now claims the threat may have been in an unrecorded part of the call. Parliament members, including Julius Malema, weren't buying it. They argued that the recording doesn't exist and that Mchunu spoke about a threat he never actually heard. Surprisingly, Mchunu agreed that Parliament can dismiss the threat allegation.
And when you say ukhona voice note, ukhuluma ngento elalelile wayizwa. Uthi ngizwi.
He wanted us to listen to something he never listened to himself.
Because we listened to that. There was no threat. Unless we are changing, we say there was a threat there because we say he was angry.
Lache ama South Africans alalela eksila manunu abono ubaba ubheka icela ama South Africans. So let's not downplay it, Chair. Uthe ubaba ikhona. Sicela leyo voice note or asitshela ukuthi kanqamba manga. Sidlule. Simple as that.
Where we are now, we don't have a recording. That recording doesn't exist. Let's agree there that there was no such a recording where Mkhwanazi was threatening the minister. And that's why I was interested that he must bring that thing here because we want to hear for real if minister was threatened. Minister comes, that thing is not here, and then we speak in different languages. We must put it on record that the minister doesn't have that recording and therefore that recording doesn't exist.
Withdraw that. No. Akavuma uthi nqamba amanga la. Chair, what's the right word for amanga? Parliamentary word? For lying. Lying. Misleading.
And then came the Matlala affidavit drama. The minister attached an affidavit from Vusiket Matlala, who's currently in maximum prison. That move raised eyebrows and Parliament wanted to know whose idea it was. At first, Mchunu said his lawyers went without him ordering them to. But when Malema pressed him, the minister changed his story, saying, actually, I sent my lawyers to Matlala. That contradiction sparked even more suspicion about Mchunu's relationship with Matlala.
What gives effect to this letter? What makes these people to write this letter and then send you an affidavit?
It's my lawyers talking to Matlala's lawyers.
Okay. Let me leave it, Chair.
Mchunu insists he only wanted Matlala to confirm they don't know each other personally. But the inconsistencies were clear. Malema pointed it out, saying the minister gave 3 different answers about the same issue.
We are being given the third answer on the same question. The first answer was, my lawyers went without an instruction. Then upon being made aware that they've committed something unethical, then the minister says, no, I actually gave them an instruction. Then I point these 2 contradictory statements to the minister. The minister gives a third answer on the same question. No, actually, my lawyers didn't go. I didn't give them instruction. It's Matlala who writes to my lawyers uninvited, dear Mr. So-and-so, I represent, which means, which answer stands here? Because it's either the lawyers went without the minister's permission, or the minister gave them the instruction, or Matlala wrote the letter uninvited by anyone. So, Minister, please clarify these 3 because as things are, it's becoming worse now.
He demanded a copy of the letter between Mchunu's lawyers and Matlala's lawyers. After reading it, Malema hit the core question: why do you need an affidavit from a questionable character like Matlala?
You don't need Matlala's affidavit in your clean papers, your morally high standard papers. You don't need such a character's affidavit to be attached and to be associated with you. This is a guy they say got 360 million tender in your department, and you say you cancelled it because it was wrongly awarded. Why would you want to be associated with such a person, irrespective of him writing in your favor that, no, I don't know, the minister, irrespective of writing in your, it's a character you don't want to be associated with. Now we're sitting here, you've got a affidavit from a morally questionable character, whereas a character that writes an affidavit from maximum prison.
I don't want
From consulting after the fact to missing recordings, contradictory statements, and dodgy affidavits, Minister Mchunu's appearance at the ad hoc committee was full of inconsistencies. And with Parliament pushing for clarity, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. This is Heads Up SA, keeping you informed, engaged, and asking questions others avoid. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because South Africa deserves the truth. Keep your heads up, SA.